Good morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the militant state of Michigan. And we're going to talk about or recap episode 3 from season 11 of Alone. Now, I like doing these as soon as I can, but this may be sooner than I really want to do, because I'm still kind of going through it in my head, and maybe don't have everything as clear as I would like it. But from first general observation, it appears is that everyone is not having a difficult time getting food. Not just berries like Michaela. She's actually got a fish this week. Food doesn't seem to be that difficult. And in prior seasons, the ones that seem to struggle getting food in the very beginning seem to do well in the end, because all of a sudden, maybe it was the area they were fishing in, weather changes or something, and they find a different technique, and all of a sudden, they're catching fish where everyone else wasn't. That doesn't seem to be what's going on right now. Everyone seems to be getting food. Although it's a little bit early, William already snared a rabbit, which I would think would happen a little bit later when they would be moving and being out a little bit more. But that cold storage thing, I'm not so sure about. Now, it appeared to me, and this is just me, but it appeared to me that he didn't field dress that rabbit. And I would think you'd want to field dress it if you're going to store it. Like I said, that's just me. I was looking for it. I didn't see any indication that he did, but he very well could have field dressed it and kind of was pushing it into that hole, holding its back and not from his stomach. So that was the only thing. Isaiah, in his new digs, literally and figuratively, I mean, it looks like it's a runoff, like a dry creek bed at the moment. Could be just the angle of things, but it looks like that might get a little wet. So I'm not sure if his dream cabin, because he was trying to, I didn't realize it was a shelter building contest, because he wanted to compare his with Roland's stone house there, and he was going to make this as good, if not better. I didn't realize, from a guy that said, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of building a shelter too soon, went from that to a shelter building contest or comparative shelter with Roland. I don't get that. And like I said, I thought it was built on some pretty low ground. So I'm waiting for a good solid rain to come through and I guess give him a wet dream. Dub. Once again, they have to overreach. Not only was he trying to shoot one duck, he was trying to shoot two ducks with one arrow. Dub. I don't quite get that. He's also talking about eating hand to mouth and not storing food, which may be it's not like everyone's, especially during other seasons, everyone has additional food to have to store. It does create a problem. But I find it hard to believe that Dub, if he had a deer walk in front of his camp, he wouldn't put it down and then deal with storing the meat. I'm not so sure about that. Michaela, I'm on the fence with her. Too much plant-filled diet, too many berries, too in love with that part of the land. I was thinking she might be the first one to tap, and then she caught the fish, so I don't know. I have kind of have some neutral feelings on that. And then we get to Peter. And when I think of Peter, I have to start thinking about Alone as a show. And if this is the direction that they really want to take this show. I mean, it's obvious. Not only do you have to have a reasonable set of survivor skills, or being primitive skills, I should say, you also have to have a very good vagina monologue. You're not going to get on the show if you can't tell a story. And that part is I guess is sort of getting, some people hooked on the show or into the show, which is fine. But that's not the show. And to me, that's not the point of the show. This is not a vision quest. This is not a show about you happen to be able to make fire with a ferro rod, and you're willing to live under these harsh conditions because you have some family issues you need to work out. And then you spend a few days alone and trying to find food for yourself and build shelter. And once you have those personal issues all worked out and you have your vision quest, well, then you just quietly remove yourself from the game. I mean, that's not what the game is about. Everybody has problems. Everyone goes there with their own set of problems. If they didn't have issues, they wouldn't be on the show. They need a decent storyline to keep you interested in these people. It is not the sole reason to be there to try to figure out your problems. You're there to win the game. You're there to win the $500,000. And for the life of me, I don't remember what orphan score I had on Peter. But the show, I'm not sure how the producers are looking at this kind of a tap out if this is really what they want. They want people to sort of find themselves or come to terms with themselves. I mean, if that's the case, they could just make a different show and call it Vision Quest. And these people really aren't there for the money. They're there to figure out their problems. You pick a few people for Vision Quest with really great vagina monologues, and you put them on the island in the same condition, the same thing, and there's no prize money. You just stay there till you get it worked out. You just stay there till you figure it out. And then you call to have them come get you, and you can stand there in front of the cameras of shame and tell everyone how you've come to terms with how you're going to handle these problems. The other show, the show called Alone, is about people with primitive skills that want to win $500,000. That's what the show should be about, in my opinion. Also, I did catch about the first 15 minutes of the show on TV when it actually aired. I think it might have been 8 o'clock. And I noticed there was an Alone podcast. And so if these podcast producers were wondering, yes, I would accept an invitation to be on your podcast. I could come on, certainly offer a different perspective on things than what is probably being discussed now. Right now, it's probably about Vision Quests and vagina monologues. And I could maybe bring it back, take it down a path, different path, help out with the entertainment value of the show. So I am willing to go on your podcast Alone. Just shoot me an email and we can make the arrangements. So that's really all I want to say. I guess I'm really going to be, I'm going to cover it the same way I always do, but I guess I'm going to be more curious as to how this Vision Quest thing plays out in this series. I think once they go to, well, it's great if you end up winning the 500,000, but it's really if you're able to find yourself and work out some of your personal problems to be able to go home a better person, then that's worth more than the 500,000. If that's the way the show's going to go, I think Alone was in for a short run. So this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.